Hey yo, you already know what it is. We are back once again, and this time we're talking about Chromebooks Are Valuebooks. So basically, I'm going to go through and kind of explain here, using these two Chromebooks as examples, as to why they are value books and as to why they are exactly like laptops and they need to be recognized as such so that you know that when you see these Chromebooks for very cheap prices, you know that they are more than just a browser. You can actually get quite a lot of value out of them. So stay tuned because we're going to go through it. So let me go through each of these Chromebooks one by one for you here. All right, so starting with the first one here, and this one's the little one, the baby. This is the Lenovo IdeaPad 311-inch. This one has an Intel N4020 processor. It has 4 gigabytes of RAM slash memory, and it comes with 64 gigabytes of eMMC storage. If we're going to get a closer look at it here, so this is the keyboard. It is not backlit, unfortunately, and that's usually one of my deal breakers, but you'll see later that this has a little bit more value than that. And then the screen is pretty decent. If you see that gunk that's kind of like right near the camera, don't mind that. I usually tape up the camera part of it. One, because I never use it, and two, because I saw the movie Snowden. If you know, you know. Going over here, down here, so that you can kind of look around here, you can see what we're dealing with the ports. So it has the USB-C, the USB. Ooh, I need to learn the types again. I kind of forget after a while. You have the micro SD card slot. We're going to be using that later. And then you have the audio jack for the headphones. And then we're going to swerve over here to the other side, like so. And then here you have another USB and another USB-C. And then the Kensington, which hardly anybody cares about. And then just so that you can see what this looks like closed, we're going to just close it real quick. And it looks like that. So that's the first one here, Lenovo IdeaPad 311. Now we're going to move on to the next one. All right, and the other one here, the bigger boy, this one is the Acer Chromebook 15, also known as the Acer Chromebook 15 CB315 1HT C4RY. Long, I know, but that's what this one is. So this one is the 15-inch Chromebook. And same thing here, so we're just going to swoop in here. This one comes with a lot of stuff. So this one, so you see the keyboard here, you see the audio speakers. This one is an Intel N3350 processor. And this one has kind of the same gunk I told you about before near the camera. Snowden, if you know, you know. Anyway, yep. So this one comes with also 4 gigabytes of RAM slash memory, and it comes with 32 gigabytes of eMMC storage. All right, swip over to this side here. See what we're working with here. USB-C, USB, micro SD card slot, and then the audio jack. That's there, and then of course you can see the little battery button there, of course, naturally. The other one had the same, but yeah. And now we're going to swerve over here to this side, baby. So you can see we have another USB, another USB-C, and then the Kensington, which no one cares about. All right. And then, of course, you have the trackpad like always. And then this one, so you can see what it looks like closed. We will be closing this bad boy. And that's what it looks like closed. So that is the Acer Chromebook 15. Now we're going to bring them back. Okay, so we got them back up here together. Now, these are just examples. The actual Chromebooks themselves are always going to vary. So these particular ones and their specs don't matter as much as pretty much the general point that I'm trying to get here is that Chromebooks are value books. So what I want to talk about first is what I like to call the P.O.P.V.S or the P.O.P.V.s. And what that means is price of personally valuable specifications or specs, basically. And what that means is, according to what you personally value in the specs of a device, what is the price that you are willing to pay for it, right? So for example, if we go over here to the Lenovo, when I first bought this, I bought this brand new. I bought it via Amazon, right? And at the time, it was $169, so $170 basically. Nice. And yeah, that was brand new. I got it exactly from Amazon, so it wasn't like any third-party sellers or anything like that. It was like shipped from Amazon, sold from Amazon. And then over here, the Acer Chromebook 15, I also got this one new. And at the time, this one was $289.99, so $290. So basically, I got this one sub $300 for the Acer. And then for the Lenovo, I got this one sub $200, right? And I don't think I mentioned this with the Acer, but this one is also a touchscreen. We're going to get into that a bit later. So what exactly is the value in regards to Chromebooks? Well, let's go through it, right? And we have a couple of different things that we're going to do examples of. So right here first on Acer, right, I have a couple things that are prepped, right? So, and we're already online on both of these. So we got the Wi-Fi going there on the Acer. And then we got the Wi-Fi going here on the Lenovo. So first thing, if we go over here, we'll bring up the YouTube, right? We'll bring it up on both. So this is just my playlist, of course. And then, so, you know, yeah. And then let's go over here to Lenovo. Same thing. So you already know that when you have access to the internet on a Chromebook, you can do things like, you know, web browsing. You can go to your favorite websites, the easy stuff, right? You know, you can watch videos, all that stuff. That's all good, right? So we understand that. I think we all come to an agreement that that comes with the territory, right? So we're going to get the system internals next. All right. So we've established that we can browse the web, go to things like youtube.com, Google, whatever. So now system internals. So this is how you can basically see what's running on your Chromebook. This one, 2 cores. And I do believe that for the Acer, it is 1.1 gigahertz, and it goes to a max of 2.4 gigahertz with the Intel N3350 on this one. And then if we switch over here to the Lenovo and check out the system internals of this Chromebook, this one also has 2 cores. And with this one, the Intel N4020, I believe this one also starts at 1.1 gigahertz and has a max of 2.8 gigahertz, right? But they both have 4 gigabytes of RAM, right? And the difference between the storage, so this one, the Lenovo, the smaller one, has 64 gigabytes of eMMC, while the Acer, right, 15-inch screen, has the 32 gigabytes of eMMC storage. So now, in regards to what I brought up before, the P.O.P.V.S, VC, oh my goodness, P.O.P.V.S, P.O.P.V.S, Popverses, right? Price of personally valuable specs. So it's up to you to really determine when you're shopping for a Chromebook, what specs you're willing to live with, what are the deal breakers, what specs are absolute must, and what specs can you basically do without, you don't really need, you're willing to make a sacrifice on, that's going to be, you know, bringing value to you without you overpaying, basically, is what you're going to need to look at. So basically what you're doing when you're going by my P.O.P.V.S model is you're basically determining justification or unjustification of the price point. So the reason why the very first P in P.O.P.V.S is price is because that's the thing that you're going to be justifying, and from there you're going to, or unjustifying, and from there you're going to determine Does this price make sense? Am I okay with this, or is this price not going to work, right? So we'll start off with the Acer one here. So we don't need system internals anymore. We kind of made that point. We went over that. So next thing we're going to go to here, Play Store. You have a million apps. You have so many apps. It's an endless sea of apps when you go on a Chromebook. I think this is pretty much common knowledge at this point as well, right? And then let's go over here, do the same here. All right, got the App Store prepped up here, Google Play. Yeah, just, you know, endless sea of apps. It doesn't matter. It's just apps everywhere, right? So you got your App Store as well. Once again, we're showing all the functionality, all the things that it can do while you're online first, and then we're going to go to the offline section afterwards. Sorry, so we're good there. Now, when I was checking out this one, the Acer, there are a couple things that I needed. One, I needed a backlit keyboard. You see the lights on that bad boy? See the lights on that bad boy? Yeah. I needed a backlit keyboard. I can't stand I can't stand not having it. Now, this Lenovo doesn't have it, but you know, I'm willing to work on the trade-off because of what this gives me instead. So I was able to make that sacrifice, but normally I wouldn't. But the price point was just too good to pass up. So I found other uses for it, but I needed to have this. This was a must because this was a $290 Chromebook. And let me tell you something about Chromebooks, right? When these first came out, I was not willing to pay a lot of money for these because I'm like, at first I didn't realize their value, right? I didn't realize that these are basically laptops. You're actually getting a steal for a lot of the prices that these things have. Because when you think about a laptop, right? And I was thinking about this with I have at least 3 laptops, right? And when I think about like the utility, like what I use these for in like regular everyday life, and I'm like, well, I use the browser literally every day. Chromebooks have a browser, pretty good one actually. And then I think, all right, well, what other things do I use, right? Text editor, Chromebooks have that, right? Or there's workarounds around it, and we're going to get to that. I'm going to show you examples of that. I listen to music. Chromebooks allow you to do that. I look at videos or edit them. Chromebooks allow you to do that. I watch videos. Chromebooks allow you to do that too. I check my email. Chromebooks allow you to do that too. Like there really isn't too much other than certain things. Like if you're trying to do heavy gaming, but in that case, when you just have a very specific device or a specific rig or computer for that, of course. But for like regular general tasks, like Chromebooks pretty much take care of all of that for like half or like a third or like a quarter of the price. Like you could be paying, like, you know how much laptops cost, like, you know, the Windows or the Macs, hundreds, usually like the lowest end ones that are decent, that'll give you specs that are actually like relevant. You're looking at least $400, right, on the low end. And that's if they're on sale pretty much. And then they just go up from there. But you can get Chromebooks, or as I like to call them, Chromebeezys, right? You can get some Chromebeezys for like $200, $300. Sometimes you can even get them for $100 or less. I like to get mine new, so, you know, usually I'll pay a little bit higher, but yeah. Oh, there's a phone. Hold up. Okay, phone stopped for now, so we're good. But like I was saying, yeah, laptops cost a lot. Chromebooks are usually very, very cheap. And, you know, when I was saying things about not being able to play games, like hardcore games, with things that we have now with streaming games like GeForce Now, NVIDIA's GeForce Now, and Xbox Game Pass, that's not even a problem anymore. Sure, it might be a little subscription, right? But, I mean, you can play it, and they even have Chrome OS Steam, you know, Steam Chrome OS. Or maybe I'm thinking Linux. Maybe they have both. Okay, I think I'm thinking Linux. I don't think they have Chrome OS for Steam just yet. Unless they do. I don't think so. I think it's just Linux. But you get what I'm saying. There's GeForce Now. There's Xbox Game Pass. So, I mean, there's a lot that you can do. with paying very, 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 very little for it. So yeah, basically they're laptops. Like when I looked at Chromebooks at first, I'm like, yo, those are kind of like laptops. But I didn't really know what all you could do with them until I got them for myself. And then I'm like, wow, this is actually even better. Like now I feel like I got these at a steal price, like at the time, especially the Acer one. That was really good, but I think both of them are decent. All right, so the next thing we're going to go into here is going to be the text editor. And there's a reason why we're going into this right now. So right down here, right, this is our text editor. Okay, oop, is it going to focus? All right, anyway, we're just going to write down some stuff here. And then, oh, now it wants to focus. And then we come over here to the other one here. Text editor here, bing. And yeah, this one's a little bit more in focus. All right, so just write down any kind of crap. All right, and yeah, so text editor by default, when you're signed in under your account, we don't need to save this right now. It's not that important. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what it's like. Oh God, blurriness is killing me. I'm going to show you what it's like on the guest account. We're going to browse as guest now. So you know that there's a million things that you can do when you're signed in, like under your Google account on a Chromebook with the internet. Now we're going to turn the internet off, and we're also going to sign out of our account. Okay, so now we're about to go to browse as guest on both sides here. All right, so let's do that, shall we? So first over here, browse as guest on Lenovo, and then we're going to come over here and browse as guest on our Acer. And let us take a look. All right, so that one's already up, and this one's already up. Okay, so now this is what I like to call bare bones mode, right? When you're browsing as a guest, bare bones mode. If you remember the Chromebit video I made not too long ago, this will look familiar. So what can you do? Well, we're going to go over it. But before we go over it, I had to do one thing real quick. I had to go back online and signed in on my Acer. See, we back online there. I had to sign back in and go online so that I could show something so I can actually make the next point here. So when you're signed in, right, in your account and you're online, right, you have a million, a bunch, a ton of these apps. I don't have that much. I don't have that many, but you know, there's a lot here that you see, right? There's like a ton, and there's more that you can get from the store, of course. This is when you're signed in. Now switching over to our Lenovo, right? On this side, right? So this one, we're still logged out. See? So we're not signed in. We're in guest mode still, browsing as a guest. Let's take a look at what's in here. Like barely anything, right? It's like day and night. So you can kind of see, you can kind of see the difference here, right? So let's just look at both of them here. You got one that has many, and then one that doesn't. And this one is, yeah, now logged in, online, has a bunch, and this one doesn't. And the ones that it does are very basic. So look at what it doesn't have. It doesn't have certain things like the text editor, right? Text editor that we have right here. Yeah, it doesn't have that. So basically, you are bare bones when you're in guest mode. So that's pretty much the point that I'm gonna make here, is how can you still enjoy it if you have a Chromebook, and let's say that you don't have any internet access whatsoever, right? You have no internet access. You bought yourself a Chromebook, you still want to be able to enjoy it and do things on it, right? How can you do that? Well, there's a couple different ways that you can do that. So that's the next thing that we're going to go over here. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is going to be more in regards to specs and the trade-offs, right? So like I was saying before, these devices, these Chromebooks, they don't have very much, local storage, right? This one has 64 gigabytes eMMC. This one has 32 gigabytes eMMC. So when you're doing the P.O.P.V.S, right? When you're doing the personal valuations of specs, right? To determine if the price makes sense or not. One thing you want to also factor in is if you're going to have an alternative means of being able to store things. So in regards to pretty much the next thing that we're going to go over, I have here a micro SD card. This is a 64 gigabyte micro SD card. Brand really doesn't matter. Whatever you like is whatever you like. So we're going to put this one in, and I have some media on here. So this is going to be in regards to what you can do if you're offline. If you have storage devices, right, and it can be a USB, it doesn't have to be a micro SD card or an SD card. If you have a USB drive, if you have a external SSD, if you have an external hard disk drive, you know, things that can hold media, you can just input them into your Chromebook and you can still enjoy things like photos, videos, PDFs, things like that. And I'll show you also how to do some text editing, a little workaround basically for that if you just want to like store like notes or just some text things for whatever reason, okay? So just hang on and we're going to get right to it. All right, so number one, I would highly advise whenever you're getting a Chromebook, make sure that it has decent specifications that are going to work for you. For me, I need to have one that has a micro SD card. This is a must. This is non-negotiable because when I need extra storage, USB drives, you know, they're fun and all that, but I need to have a micro SD card slot because I use micro SD cards like water, man. I use them for pretty much everything, so I gotta have them. They're must. They're so important to me. You gotta have them. All right, so we hooked up ours here and it already recognized it. So let's take a look. Remember, we are still offline. We're still offline here, and we're still in browse as a guest mode. So like I said, this is bare bones mode. This is if you have no internet connection whatsoever, and this is if you have no Google account. You're just browsing as a guest here, right? So we're gonna go over here to the Files tab, right? Tap on that bad boy. All right, now it recognized our micro SD card right up here. Beautiful. And look at that. So I already have one that's titled Chromebooks Are Valuebooks. Double tap on there. We have a couple things here, right? So we have Kotlin. So the Kotlin language, we have the PDF. We have video 1. We have photo 1. And then we have a audio track or a music track, MP3 track. So just so that you know, you can still enjoy media. You can still enjoy things, even browsed as a guest in offline mode. It's perfectly fine. So we're just going to give this a moment, and then we're going to let our Kotlin PDF load up here. Give it a second, let it do its little twirly twirl. And you're going to see what I mean when I talk about value. This device can do a lot more than you think. It's definitely twirling around here, but it's a Chromebeezy. We got to give it a little slack, you know what I mean? But it will bring it up. Just got to think a little bit. But, you know, these are some trade-offs that we take, but it will load it. It absolutely will. While we're waiting for it to do that in the meantime, because it's probably going to take a while, let's go to video 1. Let's play that. And let's max it out here. All right, ready? Let's play it. Then we put the speakers up here. Yeah. Oh yeah. Can you tell what I'm doing yet? And you'll see. How fast do you think I can type with just my pointer while holding a camera with my other hand? Can you tell that I made that up before making this video? Yeah. So, yeah. And yeah, you saw that thing over here. That's just the menu. I could have just moved that out of the way and then it'll disappear. But yeah. But yeah, so it can play video. We are still browsed as a guest. We're still in offline mode, by the way. So if you have media from like another device, or if somebody sets you up with like just a USB drive or a micro SD card just full of, pretty sure we can press escape to get out of full screen mode. Oh, maybe not. This is a little different. Maybe not. All right, it's fine. We'll just go here to minimize. Okay, that's better. But yeah, if your friends or your family or somebody wants to set you up with like a storage device, or if you want to set it up yourself with just media that you just have just lying around for whatever, you can do that. I think our PDF should be ready by now. Yeah, there we go. All right. And you're good to go. So Kotlin language, let's go down here. Let's scroll down for a while because yeah, page 7. Are we still gonna be in the table of contents here? So went the wrong way. Let's keep on scrolling. I mean, you get the picture here. And this is the whole PDF. I think this is the most updated Kotlin language PDF here. It's a while before we get to the actual coding stuff, but I just want to let you see here. Yeah, here we go. Now we're getting to the stuff. Let's maximize this a bit. Yep. There's some good old coding stuff in there. All right. So anyway, PDF viewer, I think you guys get the point there. Next one, photos. How do photos look? Can you view photos when you're browsed as a guest in offline mode? Yes, you can. Let's see. This one's pretty crispy, and it's high definition as well. We are on the Acer Chromebook 15, so this one has 1080p visuals. And yep, you can see everything crispy. You can make out 64 gigabytes. A1V30 micro SD XC from Gigastone Ultra Plus. Nice. Not sponsored, by the way. All right. So you can view videos as well. Good to know. And then lastly, can you listen to music? I believe so. There's a track that I made on Fruity Loops called Lost. Yeah. 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 I think you guys get the point. So let's get to the last thing here. And then I think we are going to be good for the day. So you know that in bare bones mode, bare bones, no internet, browsed as a guest mode, you can still enjoy this like you would a regular laptop, right? But now we need to get to the text editor because a lot of the internet is really just repeating the same things over and over in just different ways, right? We're still looking at visuals, whether they're still frames like photos or whether they're moving frames, right? Like video, audio, it's really all the same thing in text, right? It's just done in different forms, but it's really kind of the same thing over and over, pretty much. So here's a interesting and kind of awkward, maybe weird workaround for text editor. Because in offline mode, as I showed it on the Lenovo, I don't think I showed it on here, but it's the same thing. It's just bare bones. No text editor, right? But we are using the Chrome browser. Now, in this Chrome browser, this is what I do. And it's a weird workaround, but it works though. So what I do is on here, I'm just going to double tap here so that I can go to, oh wait, yeah, I'm in the right place. Edit as HTML. And then I'm going to go over here, I'm going to double tap again. I'm going to select all, and then I'm going to backspace, delete all that out, and then click out of there. So now we have this area right here is super blank, right? Guess what we're going to do? All right. So we're going to go over here in HTML. Actually, it doesn't really matter at this point, but we're going to go to, edit HTML. right here inside body, we're just going to do, and this helps obviously if you know a bit of HTML, you know. I'm going to do H1. I'm just going to do a little header here. H1 header. And in there, we're going to do hello. This is a note from Gamelthorpe. Okay, I think that's good. If I did it right, yeah, there we go. Now, like this, what I'll normally do, and you can write stuff longer than this, but basically, like if I'm trying to write like a note, like oh my God, the phone, 1 second. Man, let me tell you, man, phones are annoying. Anyway, so we got this here. Hello, this is a note from Gamelthorpe. Now, if you want to write like a note, a sticky note, a notepad, it can, like I said, it can be longer than this. It can be a paragraph. It can be a whole story if you want. But this is the workaround that I use usually when I'm trying to make a text editor out of the browser here. And what I'm going to do next, basically, is I'm going to come down here, and then I'm going to make a screen capture, right? Screen capture. There we go. And then over here, I have two options. So I can do a video screen capture, or I can just do a regular picture screen capture. So we're going to do that. Take partial screen, take full screenshot, take window screenshot. So I'm going to do take full screenshot. There we go. And then here it says, click anywhere to capture the full screen. So click. Full screen has been captured. Screenshot taken. Beautiful. So now, let's see, I'm going to reduce the size there. I'm going to exit out of here, and it's not going to save it because it's in guest mode, so it's not going to save it anyway. So you go, if you want to check, you just go back to here. Boom, browsing as a guest again, so that doesn't matter. But anyway, we'll go to files down here now. And then it's going to save it in downloads by default. So there's the screenshot we just took. Double click on there. And there we have it. Hello, this is a note from Gamelthorpe. Now that's a workaround. There's many different ways that you can technically, like, you can create text editors in many different ways. If you want to basically on a USB drive or on a micro SD card, if you want to bring like a portable, like a portable text editor that's compatible with Chrome OS, that's doable as well. You're going to need to be a little bit more tech savvy if you're going to do that, but there's many ways of doing it is what I'm basically trying to tell you. So there's, you have to do these workarounds when you're dealing with Chrome OS, but I'm telling you that they are still possible. So if you are trying to get a very cheap computer, but you still want to do the things that a regular laptop can do, you can do them with these Chromebooks. These devices are amazing. So once again, Chromebooks are valuebooks. I think I've made my case. Hopefully I did. And hopefully you guys understand that it is perfectly fine to get a Chromebook. These are amazing devices. I have only done so far. Oh yeah, I forgot. I gotta let you guys see the touch screen because I was talking about it just so that you know that I'm not full of crap. All right. Yep. So touch screen, and then we can exit out with them as well. So cancel that, and cancel that. All right. So there you have it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and like always, live peacefully and take care of yourselves. Happy holidays. I hope you guys get some really valuable shopping done. If you guys see Chromebits, oh my goodness, let's not talk about that. If you guys see Chromebooks that you see that are of a very interesting price point, make sure to do your research. Remember, the P.O.P.V.S, price of personally valuable specifications. It has to make sense to you as far as the price point that it's being sold as, you know? So, like, for example, this was brand new, $170. But I did the P.O.P.V.S. I found value in it. It was able to do literally everything that this one could do for $289 minus the backlight. And it came in a smaller, more portable size. So it made up for a lot of stuff while being while being more than $100 less than this. You know what I mean? And it came in black, which, you know, it's like, okay, all right. All right, it's a cool little sleek color. It's nice, not bad. Okay, okay, I'll make some concessions. You know what I mean? So be safe out there when you're shopping. Get yourself some nice things. Make sure to always do your research. And don't just check out this video, check out other ones as well so that you can get a good rounded view of things, right? There are other people that have amazing videos in regards to Chromebooks, Chrome OS in general, so make sure to check them out. Also, make sure to get around it like a very full view of things. Don't just take just one reference's point. Look at many different perspectives, many different points of view, and then make your best, you know, informed decisions after that point. So, you know, anyway, once again, live peacefully, take care of yourselves. I will see you in the next one. We out.